Welcome back, guys, to this tutorial. We are going to look about the state and props. As we've seen in the last lecture that state is mutable while props are immutable. This means that a state can be updated in the future while props cannot be updated. So using a state, this is our root component. We are just importing home, which will be used in most of our chapters. So this is our home. I've added this line. I've imported the component as usual. I've also imported the components which are going to be used, but we can remove these two and we remain with text and view. This is the class home extends component, and you have to put also this line export default home in order to avoid errors in the future. So it's better to you to put this export default home. Here in index.android.js we have also made something like this, and I've also removed the list of the styles which have been here down. We shall look at that in our future series. So we are to implement state and props today. Let us be attentive and we see this amazing topic. State and props are very simple. So let us implement state. What is a state? And let's see how a state is implemented. First and foremost, let us first put our container, view container, and then we add the text somewhere here. After making a view and the text inside this view, we come here up and we declare a state. This is how it is declared. State is equal to this, and you open those things which you've seen there, and then you write my state. Just declare a state. Me, I'm calling it my state, which is equal to, then we put this we put this thing, and then you say my state semicolon, then we put this single quotes and we say this is Lutaaya, this is Lutaaya Huzaifa Idris. After doing that, then we come here in the text. So the thing is, if we want to use this state, remember we have stored our data here in the word my state. So this, I take this as a data type, something like that, for those who have been using Java and C#. So if you want to store something, we use this state to store our data. This data stored at a certain time, we want to set it somewhere. So for our case, let us set this data in the text. So the syntax is, you open those things and then you say the braces and say this dot the state itself, this one, the state itself, and then you say dot my state. So we assume that these words are going to be visible in the component called text. So this line here you see is the one which has set this data in the text. So another thing is, remember this is the launching page on an emulator. This is our emulator. This is the launching page. We want to wire up home.js to be accessible in index.android.js. The way of doing that, we can't do this unless when we are going to be using a props. So in a simpler way, I can term a props as this process I'm going to do. The way of accessing data in home.js to this one is what we term as a props. So we have to implement this. In order to implement this, we say import home from, we open these single quotes, can terminate, and you say dot slash, and then remember our directory or our file path of home.js is main slash home.js. So here this is the line, or this is the path which can take us to home. Remember here there is an error and it is saying that expression expected. In return, we have to put a component inside here, and our component is going to be home slash this. So the thing you are seeing here is termed as a what? A prop. And as you can see now, this import has been highlighted to show that it is being used. So this is what we call a props, accessing this file inside this. So if at all we deploy this application on mobile, this file cannot be changed unless when we try to update it again. But for a state, it can be changed. Suppose if we are getting data from HTTP and we first store it here, and then it becomes, and then we bind it in the text. This shows that a state can be changed. We store the data here in a state, and then afterwards we use this data to be bind in whatever component we wish. So let us also add like another declaration here. Let us say we want to declare like a number. We can say my number, and when we add the semicolon and say 25, I can say this is Lutaaya Huzaifa, and he is, and then we add this, and we say this dot state dot my number years old. So we assuming that it will bring, this is Lutaaya Huzaifa Idris, and he is 25 years old. So let us open our emulator, and we come here in the corner and we press here, and we run the application. So let us wait a bit. Well, the application has run very well. So the application is saying that this is Lutaaya Huzaifa Idris, and he is 25 years old. So this is the end of this chapter. Let us meet in the next chapter.